Have you ever wondered if your thoughts could actually change your life? It might sound too good to be true, but there's a powerful idea that says they can. This idea is called the law of assumption, and it was taught by a man named Neville Goddard. Today, we're going to explore this amazing concept and learn how it can bring more good things into your life. Imagine if you could create the life you've always dreamed of just by changing the way you think. That's what the law of assumption is all about. It's like having a magic wand that can transform your reality. But instead of waving a wand, you're using the power of your own mind. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract good luck wherever they go, or how others always seem to be stuck in a cycle of bad experiences? According to the law of assumption, this isn't just random chance. It's actually the result of what these people believe deep down inside. This idea might seem a bit strange at first. After all, we're used to thinking that the world around us is fixed and unchangeable. But what if that wasn't true? What if our inner thoughts and beliefs were actually shaping the world we see? That's the exciting possibility that the law of assumption opens up for us. But don't worry if this all sounds a bit confusing right now. We're going to break it down step by step. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how the law of assumption works and how you can use it to bring more abundance into your life. So are you ready to discover the incredible power of your own thoughts? Let's dive in. Now that we've got a taste of what the law of assumption is all about, let's take a moment to learn about the man who introduced this powerful idea to the world. His name was Neville Goddard, and he was a truly fascinating person. Neville Goddard was born in 1905 on the island of Barbados. He came from a big family. He was the fourth child out of 9. When he was young, Neville moved to the United States to study theater. But his life took an unexpected turn when he became interested in metaphysics and spirituality. Metaphysics might sound like a big, complicated word, but it's really just about trying to understand the nature of reality. Neville became fascinated with the idea that our thoughts and imagination could shape the world around us. He spent years studying different spiritual teachings and eventually developed his own unique philosophy. What made Neville special was his ability to take complex spiritual ideas and explain them in a way that ordinary people could understand and use in their daily lives. He wasn't interested in fancy theories that didn't have any practical use. Instead, he wanted to teach people how to change their lives for the better using the power of their own minds. Neville began giving lectures and writing books about his ideas in the 1930s. He talked about how we could use our imagination to create the life we wanted. He taught that if we could imagine something clearly and feel it as real, it would eventually become real in our outer world. This was the core of what he called the law of assumption. It's called that because it's all about assuming or believing that what you want is already true. Neville taught that if you could truly believe and feel that you already had what you wanted, the world would reshape itself to match your belief. One of the things that made Neville's teaching so popular was that he didn't just talk about abstract ideas. He gave practical techniques that people could use to apply these principles in their own lives. He taught methods like visualization, where you create a clear mental picture of what you want and feeling the emotion of already having it. Neville's ideas were revolutionary for his time. Many people found that when they applied his teachings, they experienced positive changes in their lives. Some found success in their careers, others improved their relationships, and many reported feeling happier and more fulfilled. But Neville wasn't just a teacher, he was also a living example of his own principles. He often shared stories from his own life about how he had used the law of assumption to overcome challenges and achieve his goals. This made his teachings even more powerful because people could see that he wasn't just talking about theory. He was sharing something that really worked. Neville continued to teach and write books until his death in 1972. But his ideas didn't die with him. In fact, they've only grown more popular over time. Today, many modern self-help and spiritual teachers draw inspiration from Neville's work, even if they don't always mention him by name. So when we talk about the law of assumption, we're really talking about a profound spiritual teaching that has the power to transform lives. It's a testament to Neville Goddard's insight and his ability to communicate deep truths in a way that resonates with people from all walks of life. As we dive deeper into the law of assumption, keep in mind that this isn't just some new age fad. It's a time-tested principle that has helped countless people create positive changes in their lives. And the best part? It's something that anyone can learn to use regardless of their background or circumstances. Now that we know a bit about Neville Goddard, let's dive into the heart of his teaching, the law of assumption. Don't worry if it sounds complicated. It's actually a pretty simple idea once you break it down. At its core, the law of assumption says that your outer world is a reflection of your inner beliefs and assumptions. In other words, what you believe to be true on the inside will show up as your reality on the outside. It's like your mind is a projector and the world around you is the screen. Whatever you project in your mind will appear in your life. Let's break this down with an example. Imagine two people who are looking for a job. The first person thinks, "It's so hard to find a good job these days, I'm probably not qualified enough anyway." The second person thinks, "There are great opportunities out there, and I have valuable skills to offer." According to the law of assumption, these two people will have very different experiences in their job search. The first person, who assumes it's hard to find a job, might overlook good opportunities or perform poorly in interviews because of their lack of confidence. They might even subconsciously sabotage their own efforts. The second person, on the other hand, is more likely to spot opportunities, present themselves confidently in interviews, and persist until they find a job they love. This doesn't mean that just thinking positive thoughts will magically make things happen. The law of assumption goes deeper than that. It's about truly believing and feeling that what you want is already yours. It's about assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, as Neville would say. Here's another way to think about it. Have you ever noticed how when you buy a new car, you suddenly start seeing that same model everywhere? The cars were always there, but you never noticed them before. That's because your mind is now tuned to notice them. The law of assumption works in a similar way. When you assume something to be true, your mind becomes tuned to notice opportunities and possibilities that align with that assumption. But here's the really important part. The law of assumption isn't just about what you think consciously. It's more about what you believe deep down, in your subconscious mind. These are the beliefs that you hold to be true without even realizing it. They're like the background music of your mind, always playing and influencing how you see the world. For example, you might say you want to be wealthy, but if deep down you believe that money is the root of all evil, or that rich people are unhappy, you'll subconsciously push wealth away. Your actions and decisions will be influenced by these deeper beliefs, even if you're not aware of it. This is why simply repeating positive affirmations isn't always enough. The law of assumption is about changing your core beliefs, your fundamental assumptions about yourself and the world. It's about reshaping your self-concept, the image you hold of yourself in your mind. Neville taught that the most powerful way to change these deep-seated beliefs is through the use of imagination. He believed that your imagination is actually the creative power of the universe working through you. When you vividly imagine something and feel the emotions associated with it as if it were already real, you're not just daydreaming, you're actually reshaping your subconscious beliefs. Here's an exercise Neville often recommended. Before you go to sleep at night, close your eyes and imagine a scene that would imply your desire has already been fulfilled. For example, if you want a promotion at work, imagine yourself sitting in your new office, feeling the satisfaction of your new position. Really feel the emotions, hear the congratulations from your colleagues, see the details of your new workspace. Do this night after night, and you'll start to notice changes in your waking life. The key is to persist in this new assumption, even when your current reality seems to contradict it. This can be challenging at first. Your old beliefs and your current circumstances might seem to push back against your new assumption. But remember, according to the law of assumption, your current reality is just the result of your past assumptions. As you persist in your new assumption, your reality will gradually shift to match it. It's important to understand that the law of assumption isn't about denying your current reality or pretending that problems don't exist. It's about choosing where to put your focus and energy. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong or what you lack, you focus on the reality you want to create. You assume the feeling of already having what you desire. This principle can be applied to any area of your life: relationships, career, health, personal growth, or material possessions. Whatever you want to change or improve, the process is the same. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Live from the end, as if what you desire is already your reality. One of the beautiful things about the law of assumption is that it puts the power back in your hands. You're not at the mercy of external circumstances or other people's actions. You have the ability to shape your reality through your own consciousness. This doesn't mean you can control everything that happens in the world, but you can control how you perceive and respond to the world, and that makes all the difference. It's also worth noting that the law of assumption isn't about manipulating others or forcing specific outcomes. It's about aligning yourself with the reality you want to experience. As you change your inner world, your outer world naturally shifts to reflect that change. Practicing the law of assumption requires patience and persistence. You're essentially reprogramming your subconscious mind, and that takes time. It's not uncommon to see small changes at first, building up to bigger shifts over time. The key is to stay consistent in your new assumption, even when things seem to be moving slowly. Remember, the law of assumption isn't a magic trick or a quick fix. It's a way of living, a shift in how you relate to yourself and the world around you. It's about recognizing the incredible creative power of your own consciousness and learning to use that power intentionally. As you begin to experiment with the law of assumption in your own life, be gentle with yourself. It's okay if you don't see immediate results or if you find it challenging at first. Like any new skill, it takes practice. The important thing is to stay open to the possibility that you have more control over your life experience than you might have previously believed. In the next sections, we'll explore practical ways to apply the law of assumption in your daily life, including the power of affirmations and how to create effective ones. We'll also look at common pitfalls to avoid and share some inspiring success stories. But for now, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned so far. How might your life change if you truly believed that your assumptions create your reality? What would you choose to assume? Now that we understand the law of assumption, let's talk about a powerful tool that can help us put this principle into practice: affirmations. You might have heard this word before, but what exactly are affirmations, and how do they work? Affirmations are simply positive statements that we repeat to ourselves. They're like messages we send to our own minds. These messages can be about anything: our abilities, our worth, our goals, or the kind of life we want to create. The idea is that by repeating these positive statements, we can change our thoughts and beliefs over time. You might be wondering, how can just saying something to myself make a difference? Well, it all goes back to what we learned about the law of assumption. Remember, our deepest beliefs shape our reality. Affirmations are a way to intentionally shape those beliefs. Think about it this way: our minds are like gardens, our thoughts are the seeds we plant in this garden. Negative thoughts are like weeds. They can grow on their own and take over if we're not careful. Affirmations are like deliberately planting flowers. We're choosing what we want to grow in the garden of our mind. The power of affirmations comes from repetition. When we repeat something over and over, our mind starts to accept it as true. It's like wearing a path through a field. The first time you walk across, you might barely leave a mark. But if you walk the same path every day, eventually you'll create a clear trail. Affirmations work in a similar way. At first, your mind might resist the new ideas you're introducing. You might even feel like you're just saying empty words. But if you persist, these new thoughts will start to feel more natural. They'll start to shape your beliefs, and according to the law of assumption, your reality will begin to shift to match these new beliefs. Here's why affirmations work so well with the law of assumption. They help us maintain the feeling of our desire being fulfilled. Remember, Neville Goddard taught that the key is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Affirmations help us practice that feeling every day. For example, if you want to attract more abundance into your life, you might use an affirmation like, "I am a magnet for wealth and prosperity." When you repeat this affirmation, try to really feel the truth of it. Imagine how it would feel to be truly prosperous. This feeling is what makes the affirmation powerful. Affirmations can be used for any area of life where you want to see change, want to boost your confidence. You might use an affirmation like, "I am confident and capable in all situations." Looking to improve your health? Try, "My body is strong, healthy, and full of energy." The possibilities are endless. One of the great things about affirmations is that they're simple and accessible. You don't need any special equipment or training to use them. All you need is your own mind and a willingness to practice consistently. But here's an important point to remember. Affirmations aren't about denying your current reality or pretending that everything is perfect when it's not. They're about focusing your mind on what you want to create. They're about choosing where to direct your mental energy. Think of it like tuning a radio. There are many stations playing all at once, but you can only hear the one you're tuned into. Affirmations help you tune into the frequency of what you want to experience, even if it's not fully present in your life yet. As you start working with affirmations, you might notice some resistance. Your old beliefs might push back against the new ideas you're introducing. This is normal. It's just a sign that you're challenging your existing thought patterns. The key is to persist. Keep repeating your affirmations even if they don't feel true at first. Remember, you're creating a new path in your mind. In the next section, we'll talk about how to create effective affirmations that really work. But for now, just remember this. Affirmations are a powerful tool for applying the law of assumption in your daily life. They help you maintain the feeling of your desires being fulfilled, and over time, they can truly transform your beliefs and your reality. Now that we understand why affirmations are so powerful, let's talk about how to create affirmations that really work. Creating effective affirmations is both an art and a science. There are some key principles to keep in mind, but there's also room for creativity and personal expression. First, let's talk about the structure of a good affirmation. An effective affirmation is usually short, clear, and positive. It's a statement that you can easily remember and repeat throughout your day. Here are some guidelines to follow. Use the present tense. Phrase your affirmation as if what you want is already true. Instead of saying, "I will be successful," say, "I am successful." This aligns with the law of assumption. You're assuming the state of already having what you desire. Keep it positive. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Instead of saying, "I don't want to be poor," say, "I am financially abundant." Your mind tends to focus on the main idea in a statement, so make sure that main idea is positive. Make it personal. Use I statements. This makes the affirmation about you and your experience. "I am" is a particularly powerful way to start an affirmation. Be specific. The more specific your affirmation, the more clearly you can imagine and feel it. Instead of a vague statement like, "I am happy," you might say, "I wake up each morning feeling joyful and excited about my day." Include emotion. Remember, the feeling is what makes an affirmation powerful. Try to include words that evoke emotion. Instead of, "I have a good job," you might say, "I am passionate about my work and feel fulfilled every day." Now, let's walk through the process of creating an affirmation step by step. First, identify what you want to change or achieve. Let's say you want to improve your self-confidence. Next, think about how you would feel if you already had strong self-confidence. What would your life look like? How would you act? Now create a statement that captures that feeling and that reality. For example, "I am confident and self-assured in all situations." You can make this even more powerful by adding specifics. "I speak up in meetings with confidence, knowing my ideas are valuable." Remember to keep it positive and in the present tense. Instead of "I will stop being shy," say, "I am outgoing and express myself freely." You can create multiple affirmations for the same goal. For example, "I radiate confidence and self-assurance." "I trust in my abilities and always do my best." "I am worthy of respect and admiration." Once you've created your affirmations, it's time to put them into practice. Repetition is key. Try to repeat your affirmations several times a day. Many people find it helpful to say their affirmations first thing in the morning and last thing at night. You can also write them down, put them on sticky notes around your house, or set reminders on your phone. But remember, it's not just about saying the words. Try to really feel the truth of your affirmation as you say it. Visualize yourself living as if the affirmation were already true. The more you can engage your emotions and your imagination, the more powerful the affirmation becomes. It's also important to be patient and persistent. Changing deep-seated beliefs takes time. You might not see results immediately, but if you keep at it, you'll start to notice changes in your thoughts, feelings, and eventually your external circumstances. Don't be afraid to adjust your affirmations over time. As you grow and change, your goals and desires might shift too. The affirmations that work for you today might be different from the ones that work for you in a year. Stay flexible and keep your affirmations aligned with your current aspirations. One powerful technique is to use your affirmations as part of a visualization exercise. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and repeat your affirmations slowly in your mind. As you do this, imagine a scene that represents your affirmation coming true. Really try to step into that scene using all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? How do you feel? The more vivid and real you can make this mental image, the more effective your affirmation will be. Another tip is to use affirmations in response to negative thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking something negative, pause and replace that thought with a positive affirmation. For example, if you think, "I'm not good enough for this job," immediately counter with your affirmation, "I am skilled and capable, and I contribute value in all I do." Remember, the goal of affirmations is not to deny reality or ignore problems. It's to shift your focus and change your dominant thoughts over time. It's about choosing to align your thoughts with the reality you want to create rather than the one you fear. As you work with affirmations, pay attention to how they make you feel. A good affirmation should feel exciting and inspiring. If an affirmation feels completely unbelievable to you, it might be too big of a leap from your current beliefs. In that case, try breaking it down into smaller, more believable steps. For example, if "I am a millionaire" feels too far-fetched right now, you might start with, "I am open to financial abundance," or "I am learning to manage money wisely." As your beliefs shift, you can gradually make your affirmations more ambitious. Creating and using effective affirmations is a skill that improves with practice. Don't worry about getting it perfect right away. The most important thing is to start using affirmations consistently and to approach them with an open mind and a willingness to change. In the next section, we'll talk about how to incorporate affirmations into your daily routine for maximum impact. But for now, why not take a moment to create your first affirmation? Think about an area of your life where you'd like to see positive change. Then, using the guidelines we've discussed, create an affirmation that captures the reality you want to create. Remember, you have the power to shape your thoughts and through them to shape your life. Now that you know how to create powerful affirmations, let's talk about how to make them a regular part of your daily life. Consistency is key when it comes to affirmations. The more you can integrate them into your routine, the more impact they'll have on your thoughts and beliefs. First thing in the morning is a great time to use affirmations. Your mind is fresh and receptive when you first wake up. Before you even get out of bed, take a few moments to repeat your affirmations. This sets a positive tone for your entire day. You might say something like, "Today is full of opportunity, and I am ready to make the most of it." Another good time for affirmations is right before you go to sleep. Your subconscious mind is particularly receptive as you're drifting off to sleep. Repeating positive affirmations at this time can help program your mind for success while you rest. You could say something like, "I am grateful for all the good in my life, and I look forward to tomorrow." During your commute. If you drive to work, you can say your affirmations out loud. Just remember to keep your eyes on the road. If you take public transportation, you can repeat them silently to yourself or write them in a journal. While getting ready. As you're brushing your teeth or doing your hair, look at yourself in the mirror and say your affirmations. This can be especially powerful for affirmations about self-love and confidence. Before important events, if you have a big meeting, a job interview, or any situation that makes you nervous, take a moment to repeat an affirmation that boosts your confidence. Something like, "I am well prepared and I communicate clearly and effectively." During exercise, if you work out regularly, try repeating your affirmations in rhythm with your movements. This can make your workout more enjoyable and reinforce your positive beliefs at the same time. While waiting. Instead of scrolling through your phone when you're waiting in line or sitting in a waiting room, use that time to silently repeat your affirmations. As part of meditation, if you practice meditation, you can incorporate your affirmations into your practice. You might repeat them silently as a mantra or spend a few minutes visualizing them coming true. Remember, the goal is to make affirmations a natural part of your thought process. At first, it might feel a bit forced or artificial. That's okay. Like any new habit, it takes time to become automatic. Be patient with yourself and keep at it. One powerful technique is to use affirmations in response to negative self-talk. We all have that inner critic that sometimes pipes up with discouraging thoughts. When you notice these negative thoughts, pause and consciously replace them with a positive affirmation. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not smart enough for this," immediately counter with, "I am intelligent and capable of learning anything I set my mind to." Another way to reinforce your affirmations is to write them down regularly. You might start a daily practice of writing your affirmations in a journal. Some people like to write each affirmation multiple times, really focusing on the meaning of the words as they write. This engages both your mind and your body in the affirmation process. You can also get creative with how you display your affirmations. Write them on sticky notes and put them on your mirror, your computer, or your fridge. Set them as the background on your phone or computer. Create a vision board that includes your affirmations along with images that represent your goals. The more you see your affirmations throughout the day, the more they'll sink into your subconscious mind. It's also helpful to say your affirmations with feeling. Don't just repeat the words robotically. Really try to feel the truth of what you're saying. Imagine how you would feel if what you're affirming were already true. The more emotion you can put into your affirmations, the more powerful they become. Some people find it helpful to combine affirmations with other personal development practices. For example, you might repeat your affirmations while doing yoga or incorporate them into a gratitude practice. The key is to find what works best for you and what feels most natural. As you use affirmations in your daily life, pay attention to how they affect your mood and your outlook. You might start to notice that you feel more positive and confident. You might find yourself naturally thinking more optimistic thoughts. These are signs that your affirmations are working. It's also important to be flexible with your affirmations. As your life changes and you achieve certain goals, your affirmations might need to change too. Regularly review your affirmations to make sure they still align with your current goals and desires. Don't be afraid to adjust them or create new ones as needed. Remember, using affirmations is not about forcing yourself to believe something that feels completely untrue. It's about gently guiding your thoughts in a more positive direction. If an affirmation feels too far from your current reality, break it down into smaller steps. For example, if "I am wealthy" feels unbelievable right now, you might start with "I am open to financial opportunities," or "I am learning to make wise financial decisions." Lastly, be patient with the process. Change doesn't happen overnight. Your affirmations are seeds that you're planting in your mind. With consistent care and attention, they will grow and flourish. Trust in the process and keep nurturing those positive thoughts. Using affirmations in your daily life is a powerful way to apply the law of assumption. You're consistently assuming the feeling of your desires being fulfilled. Over time, this can truly transform your beliefs, your actions, and ultimately, your reality. So start today. Choose an affirmation that resonates with you and find ways to incorporate it into your daily routine. Remember, every positive thought is a step towards the life you want to create. As you start working with affirmations and the law of assumption, it's important to be aware of some common pitfalls. Knowing these can help you avoid frustration and get better results. Let's look at some of the mistakes people often make and how to overcome them. One of the biggest mistakes is using negative language in affirmations. Remember, your mind focuses on the main idea in a statement, even if it's negative. For example, if you say, "I don't want to be poor," your mind focuses on poor. Instead, phrase your affirmation positively. "I am financially abundant." This directs your mind towards what you do want, not what you don't want. Another common error is making affirmations too vague. Saying, "I am happy" is okay, but it's not very specific. Your mind works better with clear, detailed images. Try something like, "I wake up each morning feeling joyful and excited about my day." The more specific you are, the easier it is for your mind to imagine and believe the affirmation. Many people also struggle with consistency. They use affirmations for a few days, then forget about them. But changing deep-rooted beliefs takes time and repetition. It's like going to the gym. You won't see results after just one workout. Make affirmations a daily habit, just like brushing your teeth. Set reminders on your phone if you need to. Some folks make the mistake of choosing affirmations that feel completely unbelievable. While it's good to aim high, if an affirmation feels totally out of reach, your mind will reject it. If "I am a millionaire" feels too far-fetched right now, start with something like, "I am open to financial abundance," or "I am learning to manage money wisely." As your beliefs shift, you can gradually make your affirmations more ambitious. Another pitfall is saying affirmations without feeling. Just robotically repeating words won't have much effect. The power of affirmations comes from the feeling behind them. When you say your affirmation, really try to feel it as true. Imagine how you would feel if it were already your reality. This emotional engagement is what makes affirmations powerful. Some people get discouraged when they don't see immediate results. They say affirmations for a week and then give up when their life hasn't completely transformed. Remember, you're working on changing deep-seated beliefs. This takes time. Be patient and persistent. Look for small changes in your thoughts and feelings. These are signs that your affirmations are working. Another mistake is not aligning your actions with your affirmations. If you're saying, "I am healthy and fit," but you're not making any changes to your diet or exercise habits, you're sending mixed messages to your subconscious. Your actions need to support your affirmations. Look for small ways to act as if your affirmation were already true. Some folks make the error of keeping their affirmations secret. While you don't need to shout them from the rooftops, sharing your goals and affirmations with supportive friends or family can help. It makes your intentions feel more real and can provide accountability. Lastly, a common mistake is using affirmations to deny or ignore real problems. Affirmations are not about pretending everything is perfect when it's not. They're about focusing on positive change and solutions. If you're facing a challenge, acknowledge it, but then use your affirmations to focus on overcoming it. By avoiding these common mistakes, you can make your affirmations more effective and see better results as you apply the law of assumption in your life. Remember, it's a process of learning and growth. Be patient with yourself and keep practicing. Now that we've covered the theory and practice of using affirmations with the law of assumption, let's look at some real-life examples. These stories show how people have used these principles to create positive changes in their lives. Meet Sarah, a 35-year-old teacher who always dreamed of writing a novel but never felt she had the time or talent. She started using the affirmation, "I am a talented writer and I make time every day to work on my novel." At first it felt strange to say this when she hadn't written anything yet, but she persisted, repeating her affirmation every morning and evening. Slowly, Sarah noticed changes. She found herself jotting down story ideas during her lunch break. She started waking up a little earlier to write before work. Within 6 months, she had completed the first draft of her novel. Sarah credits her success to the affirmation that helped her believe in herself and prioritize her writing. Then there's Mike, a 28-year-old who struggled with social anxiety. He felt nervous in social situations and often avoided them altogether. Mike started using the affirmation, "I am confident and comfortable in social situations. People enjoy my company." He repeated this several times a day, especially before social events. At first, Mike didn't notice much change, but he kept at it. After a few weeks, he realized he was feeling a bit more relaxed at work gatherings. He found himself initiating conversations more often. Friends commented that he seemed more outgoing. While Mike's anxiety didn't disappear overnight, he found it much more manageable. His affirmation had helped him shift his self-image and approach social situations with more confidence. Consider the story of Eleanor, a 42-year-old who wanted to change careers but felt stuck. She had worked in accounting for 20 years and couldn't imagine doing anything else, even though she was unhappy. Elena started using the affirmation, "I am open to new opportunities. I have valuable skills that can be applied in many fields." As Elena repeated this affirmation, she noticed she was paying more attention to job postings in different industries. She started taking online courses in areas that interested her. Within a year, Eleanor had transitioned to a new role in project management, a field she found much more fulfilling. She believes her affirmation opened her mind to possibilities she wouldn't have considered before. Lastly, there's the story of Tom and Lisa, a couple in their 50s who wanted to improve their financial situation. They had always struggled with money and felt like they could never get ahead. They decided to use a shared affirmation. "We are smart with money, and our financial abundance is growing every day." Tom and Lisa repeated this affirmation together every morning. They also wrote it down and put it on their fridge. Gradually, they noticed They were making different decisions. They started cooking at home more often instead of eating out. They began looking for ways to increase their income, with Lisa starting a small side business and Tom asking for a raise at work. Within 2 years, they had paid off their credit card debt and started a savings account for the first time in their lives. These stories show that affirmations, when used consistently and in conjunction with aligned actions, can lead to real changes. The people in these examples didn't just say the words, they allowed their affirmations to shift their beliefs, which in turn changed their behaviors and ultimately their realities. It's important to note that these changes didn't happen overnight. Each person faced doubts and setbacks along the way. But by persistently using their affirmations and the principles of the law of assumption, they were able to create significant positive changes in their lives. These success stories illustrate the power of our thoughts and beliefs in shaping our reality. They show that by consciously choosing our thoughts and consistently affirming what we want to be true, we can indeed influence our experiences and outcomes. As we wrap up our exploration of the law of assumption and the power of affirmations, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. We've discovered that our thoughts and beliefs have a profound impact on our reality. The law of assumption teaches us that what we assume to be true will be reflected in our experiences. We've learned that affirmations are a powerful tool for applying this principle in our daily lives. By consciously choosing positive statements and repeating them regularly, we can begin to shift our deeply held beliefs. This shift in beliefs leads to changes in our actions, our attitudes, and ultimately our circumstances. We've explored how to create effective affirmations, making them specific, positive, and emotionally engaging. We've discussed ways to incorporate affirmations into our daily routines, from morning rituals to moments throughout the day. We've also looked at common mistakes to avoid, helping you to use affirmations more effectively. The real-life success stories we've shared demonstrate that these principles can lead to tangible changes in various areas of life, from career and finances to personal growth and relationships. These stories show that while change may not happen overnight, persistent use of affirmations can lead to significant transformations over time. Remember, the power of affirmations lies not just in the words themselves, but in the feelings and beliefs they foster. As you use affirmations, really try to feel the truth of what you're saying. Imagine how you would feel if your affirmation were already your reality. It's important to align your actions with your affirmations. Look for opportunities to act as if your affirmations are already true. This alignment of thoughts, words, and actions is what brings your desires into reality. Be patient with yourself as you embark on this journey. Changing long-held beliefs takes time and persistence. Celebrate small changes and keep going, even when progress seems slow. Every positive thought is a step in the right direction. The law of assumption and the practice of using affirmations offer a powerful approach to personal growth and life change. They put the power back in your hands, reminding you that you have the ability to shape your experience of life through your thoughts and beliefs. As you move forward, I encourage you to choose an affirmation that resonates with you and start using it daily. Notice how it affects your thoughts, your feelings, and gradually your experiences. Remember, you have the power to create positive change in your life. Your thoughts shape your reality. Choose them wisely and watch your world transform. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the law of assumption and the power of affirmations. I hope you feel inspired and empowered to use these principles in your own life. Here's to your success and happiness as you apply what you've learned. Remember, the life you dream of begins with the thoughts you choose today.